All right. Now, what was the number one sale? Tales of Suspense, number 39. Sure, newbie, super excited about seeing this one. And now I know some people might go, oh my gosh, CBCS, top of the list. Don't get too excited. This was a horrible sale for this book. This was just awful. Now, great for the buyer. I mean, I think the buyer got a steal on this book. Seller, this is why you don't want to send these types of books into CBCS. I mean, oof, and I'll get into why. So $150,001, which, yeah, sounds like a lot, until you look at what this book sold for in a CGC 9.6. In 2013, so 9 years ago, a 9.6 sold for $275,000. And if you think prices have stayed flat for this book or gone down since 2013, you would be very wrong. And so this sale price, just terrible. And I mean, this is what I talk about with CBCS. I mean, I like their cases. I think it's crazy that this type of premium you get this type of discount sometimes with CBCS books, but this is enough to really, that should scare you if you're submitting books to CBCS for selling. If you're just submitting them to get them graded, you don't care about resale, that's one thing. But if you are submitting for selling, I mean, this is the type of thing that should really worry you, because this is an amazing copy. I would not be shocked if the person that bought this, the instant they get it, they're cracking it out and sending it to CGC to get reslabbed. I mean, worst case, and I don't think it's even possible, say it gets a 9.2. A 9.2 CGC sold on November 17th of this year for $168,000. That is $18,000 more than this at a 9.2. And I mean, look at this thing. It's stunning. I mean, it is a stunning book. This is every bit of a 9.6. I mean, even if it got a 9.4, even if it got a 9.2, it's worth resubmitting to CGC to get that different piece of plastic on the outside, because man, this is a stunning book. It's almost the full quotes. You've got 1.5 quotes over here. You've got the blue underneath the table here. Those are the things people are looking for with this book, the little extras. And it's a 9.6 white, white pages for $150,000. I mean, geez. So total census for this book, 2,609. Universal copies, there are 1,946. On the CGC census, there are 5 and a 9.6 and just one higher. But man, yeah, with CGC, let's take a look at GPA with this one, because this is one that I think we really need to show how big of a deal this is, that sold for just $150,000. I mean, that, gosh, you'll see. It's pretty bad. So let's take a look at that 9.2. So if we look at a 9.2, so the 9.6, this last sale here was in 2013. Let's look at a 9.2. Let's look at what it sold for in 2013. 2013, 9.2, selling for $47,800 on the low end, $60,000 on the high end. It's now selling for about 2.5 times that, even a little more than that. So you can't extrapolate perfectly. I don't think this would go for 2.5 times what it sold for in 2013. If it did, that would be about $700,000. But I think this book easily is a $500,000 book now in a 9.6. And I wouldn't be shocked if it hit about 700,000. I would not be shocked if it hit that number. And so whoever got it for 150,000. I mean, think about that. If they get this thing re-slabbed and it hits a 9.6, you better believe you're going to see that book pop up for sale pretty soon, because that person just turned 150,000 probably into $600,000 or $700,000, and they would have done it in the matter of a month, because it's going to be walked through. They're going to send it to someone. They're going to say, press this book immediately, take care of it, crack it out, send it in, and it's going to get taken care of. And they're going to come back with probably minimum a 9.4. And that 9.4, based on this, will probably achieve something like 300,000. But if they pull a 9.6 and they get $600,000 or $700,000. I mean, yeah, I would have bought that book all day, every day, if I had $150,000 to spend on that comic, because yeah, I think I obviously I haven't seen every sale in this auction, but that might have been one of the best sales in the auction. And the crazy thing is, it was the most expensive book that sold. So yeah, man, I thought that one was this one was really interesting, because just that CBCS discount on this book was real. This, jeez, 150,000 for what arguably, if it pulls a 9.6, could be a $500,000 to $700,000 book. So definitely congratulations to whoever picked this one up, because that was a total steal. All right, so that is the last of the books. I'm going to cut back over into the the other screen, and we'll